Hey guys, I want to talk about keyways and broaching. I've got a Skag unit here where the transmission, when you put it into gear and let off on the levers, it wouldn't move, okay? And the customer brought another transmission to me, said the thing's messed up, change it. And I said, well, how do you know it's the transmission? He says, let me look at it. So a quick look underneath, I took off the pulley and the keyway was totally messed up, meaning the original keyway in there was wallowed out on one side. This side here, you can see the key's all messed up? Yeah, the keyway was all messed up and it sheared and it didn't work and it was just screwed up. So instead of going out and buying a $30 to $40 pulley, I said, why don't we just put a new keyway in? And the customer's like, well, how do you do that? I said, well, you broach it. Well, how do you broach it? I said, with a broach. So let me explain broaching to you. When you broach, you take a broach bushing, which fits tight to the bore. In this case, it's a 5/8 bore. This is the keyway I broached, but I'll show you how I did it. I basically took the broach bushing, okay, you put it in there, it's a nice tight fit. You put it in an Arbor Press, and I actually have a good size Arbor Press that I use, okay? And then once you put that in the Arbor Press, you support it and you use what's called a broach, okay? And a broach has all these teeth on it, and in this case it's a 3/16 wide broach. All right, you put the broach into the bushing, okay, and you press it down with the press, and the teeth will actually cut new material off of, just like a chisel. It'll scrape, or a shaper if you will, it'll scrape off the material off of the pulley and will give you a certain size. Now in this case, I needed to put in a keyway that was roughly 63 thousandths more than what the broach will give you. If you look at the broach, at the top of the broach, where you look at the distance between the bore and where the broach is going to cut, at the very top I mic'd that up, and the distance from there versus the distance to the old keyway, there was a 60 thousandths difference in the diameter. So what I did in order to get that 60 thousandths was you take these shims, you put the shims in back of the broach, it spaces out the broach. Now remember, the broach is shaped, it's tapered, so that you're taking no cut at first, very minimal cut, and then gradually it gets deeper and deeper and deeper into the cut. By putting the shims in back of the broach, you'll take an even deeper cut, and as you can see all the chips that had come off of the broach. My new keyway is there, okay? It's not perfectly 180 degrees from where it was, but it's going to work. It's good enough. Now, a 5/8 shaft takes what's called a number 9 Woodruff key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the new Woodruff key in the shaft in the transmission, put this pulley back up, put a new retaining ring underneath it to hold it on, because this one just used a retaining ring. No set screws or anything, just a retaining ring. They held it on. And we're going to be good to go. So let me get this together for you guys, and then I will come back and take a video of the Skag, hopefully running under its own power. So that's my video on broaching. Broaching tools are not cheap per se. If you're not going to do a lot of them, you can go to a local machine shop and ask them how much they would charge you to broach a keyway. In all honesty, it literally took me 5 minutes to set up and broach this keyway. So if a shop's going to charge you, say, a half hour's time, $50, you may want to just buy a new pulley. But if you know someone with a shop that has a set of broaches for standard bores, it might be worth it to throw them a 6-pack or something and say, hey, can you broach this for me? Because I'll be honest with you, I'd rather spend 5 minutes of my time with a new keyway than $30 to $40 for a whole new pulley. All right, guys, that's it for now. When I come back on, I'll show you the Skag with the new pulley installed and hopefully running under its own power. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.